In this case, how is this used?
Probably needs to be capital.
Okay.
Just
When do you capitalize city and church across and you do not capitalize?
Oh, you just
It's a great question.
Is that a great question?
It's a great question.
I don't know the answer.
Wow.
So
I
when you wanna
purely
go to
gave
heaven,
the English.
when I want to go to heaven, I capitalize or all lowercase.
But my trick is so I know nobody can get mad at it, is just make all of it capital.
Okay.
Like the whole piece of Jesus Christ. Oh, you can. And nobody can get mad at that.
I mean, I don't know which way it goes. And I usually just capitalize everything.
When it is identifying us like that, I'm like, yeah, just capitalize the whole thing. Cause it's yeah, it's just a thing.
I kind of want to hear Gary's rant about why we started lowercasing the church.
I haven't read it all.
You don't have a rant? I thought of all things you have a rant on that.
I'm not a grammar Nazi. I think that's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
That's,
So, and you don't correct me if I'm wrong, was it,
it's more of a grammar Nazi issue than a theological.
we generally started lowercasing the C because we wanted it to be humble?
Because it's a possession,
Right,
like if it's Alan's car,
right.
you don't capitalize the C in car because, well, this is Christ's church.
Because Christ is more important
Yes.
than his church. But according to if you look on a form, an official form you have to turn in, it's all uppercase because
It's not above.
it's a
or
proper
like a small
noun,
word.
and that's how the English,
Yeah.
like,
You got some grammar Nazi tendencies, don't you?
I do, and I do appreciate, so that's the thing, I do appreciate the fact that we're trying to be humble about it, and we're trying to emphasize Christ, but in that process, we're like, subliminally, we're saying even the law of English doesn't matter. We're like, Christ Church exceeds,
You're one step away from using they them pronouns.
who says I don't?
Yikes.
You see my
I'm just saying,
LinkedIn profile?
if you throw out English because you just want, then,
I mean, rules don't matter anyway.
what are the rest of the rules apply?
Yeah.
The I before you
Yeah.
done
Just make it all.
joke.
I'm
So-
just gonna put capitalize, we're gonna do with that.
I think that's a way for us to try and distinguish ourselves from everybody else, which I appreciate that, but maybe we find other ways to do that.
I know you're doing that reason, but okay.
Yeah, tell me,
What
yeah, but why do you do
is
this?
the church that belongs to Christ?
Yeah.
I just think of it
I understand.
descriptively like
I
that.
understand,
But I don't, feel like bullying somebody who does it differently.
no, yeah, and I don't either, but I'm afraid that that's the angle people take, is that if you did capitalize the C in
Who's
church,
teaching that class?
you know someone's looking at you like,
Oh, Bailey?
yeah, don't you know we do this? Like,
Oh, we had this discussion before, man.
why wasn't it the one that I was on?
How you-
I was gonna live tweet the whole thing.
We've gotten rid of most of the trouble,
I could see
most of it.
if it was Christ Church, right, capital C Christ's possessive church. But because it's an official name,
Yeah.
we have to document it, we have to say capital C Church of Christ, because what sign's gonna be in heaven, do you think?
It'll be neon,
Neon? Flashing?
one of those computerized ones.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you spare no expense when the streets are of gold.
That's
I mean, if we're walking on this gold, it's gonna be like a hologram, right? It's-
Nobody's gonna be looking up anyway,
I mean, we want everybody to know who we are.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody who's not in, we want them to see
You gotta see
what's
it.
going on, hey!
You aren't live streaming this shit, are you? Because we're going crazy.
Yeah, sorry, internet. Prayer requests, that's a great transition. Prayer requests,
Apparently all of them.
yeah. Anybody we need to keep in mind in particular?
Remember Nelson?
Yeah.
He might go to the, last I heard, he might go to rehab or Wednesday.
Shelby,
Yeah, what's the latest on Shelby?
I think she's home.
Okay.
She's real late week.
She don't want visitors.
Does not want visitors?
My friend also named Shelby.
Okay.
It's a dude. His family, his mom had a heart attack the other day, and they took her on life support yesterday. So
His mom had a heart attack.
his mom died.
Gotcha. When is that? Is that this week?
Yeah. Shelby, isn't that Shelby Chadwick?
I How old is he?
23, 24.
That's rough, man. Anybody else, prayer requests before we get started? So we got Nelson, Shelby, and the other Shelbys. Okay. All right, this is gonna pain everybody to know, but we are in our last class of the series.
No.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
No, I enjoyed this
I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, but that's just fine. No, it's too late.
Are you sure?
The other side,
Did you have a Wednesday?
Besides January, or besides Wednesday rather. Yeah, we got this Wednesday, but I'm saying this is the last king. This is like
Side
the
note on
last.
Wednesday, are y'all coming?
Oh, we actually don't have class.
I was told to put this in the bulletin, Wednesday, the 28th, all adults will go to the auditorium for a greeters class. I don't know if that includes this.
This is our last class.
Are y'all adults?
Y'all didn't think I knew what I was talking about, but here we are. So take that. I didn't know. Okay.
I didn't know if that included this class or not. I mean, I guess you
Fine.
can.
I think that's good.
Maybe we should ask an elder.
So can I skip that question?
So, Mr. Elder, sir, are we gonna meet here Wednesday or are we gonna be downstairs?
We probably should be downstairs.
Aw.
So this is our last class. I'll give you one more chance.
Oh, no!
That's better. All right. So, we're talking about King Killers January, but I do want to give you a heads up next week. And so February, London's going to have viral social media theology. And you'll learn more about that next month, next Sunday. That should be fun. And then Gary's going to have our Wednesday night with ethical decision making. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool. So you should expect these as we go along, just to give you an idea of what you should expect, how it's coming along. Mike is going to have March with hard pass reluctant leaders in the Bible. I do not have a teacher for that Wednesday night, so if you're interested in that topic, gentlemen, hit me up. Or
Even
I
if
would-
you're reluctant about it.
perhaps if you're unsure, maybe it's an opportunity, right?
We could do a different one every Wednesday.
We could. If you don't volunteer, I will reach out to you and pressure you, make you feel really bad. So it's up to you, however you want to do it.
Austin's not here, just make him do it.
Oh, apparently he's on a 5-year schedule teaching Genesis downstairs.
No,
So.
actually, he's like, he's in Leviticus now, so like.
He skipped Exodus? I know he was in
He
Exodus.
did Exodus
In like 1 week?
fast.
No way. I don't
It
believe
was
that.
like a month, but yeah.
For real.
You have competition.
I'm just saying, he's
I'm
not
not
here to say
competition.
no.
No teacher.
They must just sit there quietly.
Just write him down.
He blew by. I've heard different things.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're on our last one, Rehoboam. So let's go to 1 Kings 11. 1 Kings chapter 11. I actually want to start out with the end of Solomon's life because what happens here is kind of important to the next step and Rehoboam's tenure as the king. So let's look at 1 Kings 11 and someone get for us, let's see. Let's do 29 through 39. Someone brave get 1 Kings 11, 29 through 39.
And it came to pass at that time when Jeroboam went out to Jerusalem that the prophet Elijah the Shilonite found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, Take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. But he shall have 1 tribe for my servant David's sake, for the Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel. Because they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in the ways that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments, as did David his father. Howbeit I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince of all the days of his life for David my servant's sake, whom I choose, because he kept my commandments and my statutes. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand, and I will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. And unto his son I will give one tribe, that David my servant may have a light always before me in Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen me to put my name there. And I will take thee, and thou shalt reign according to all that thy soul desireth, and shalt be king over Israel. And it shall be, if thou wert hearkened unto the Lord, I command thee, and wilt walk in my ways, and do that is right in my sight, to keep my statutes and my commandment, as David my servant did, I will be with thee, and build thee a sure house, as I built for David, and will give Israel unto thee. And I will, for this afflict the seed of David, be not forever.
I want to let you know I appreciate you reading that in the KJV. That long section in the KJV. I do appreciate that. So last time we talked about Solomon and his idolatry.
We didn't cover how he died.
We're right there. Just give me a second. I appreciate that y'all are ambitious about it, but like it's literally like the next verses. So just like we talked about Solomon. He's the wisest king ever. Wisest ever. Sorry, it's my last class. So, but he's also a guy who marries everyone under the sun for political alliances. He's also brings all of their gods and false, idolatry into Israel. So God's had it. God's like, we're gonna split the kingdom. We're gonna give away most of the kingdom to an adversary, and this is who it is. It's Jeroboam. So we look here in verse 40, same chapter, 1 Kings 11 and verse 40. Solomon sought, therefore, to kill Jeroboam, but Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt. So Shishak, the king of Egypt, was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. Does this remind you of any king we've seen before? Maybe there was a prophet who came to another person and said, hey, you're gonna be king over this guy. He just doesn't know it yet. And then that king proceeds to try and kill that guy.
Saul. Saul with David.
Exactly right. So Saul knows he's done wrong. God tells him pretty directly, I'm taking the kingdom away. Oh, boo-hoo. David is anointed, and Saul's like, I'm going to get him. Okay, so he spends the remainder of his kingship, the remainder of his tenure, Saul does, trying to kill David. Solomon realizes, oh, the king's going to be taken away from me. I'll just kill this dude, Jeroboam, and problem solved.
Simple fix.
Easy fix. Does it work? No. So again, there's a cycle going on here. Like, even though Solomon's a better king overall than Saul, we're falling into the same trap. Does everybody see that? Okay, you're supposed to kind of get that vibe. Someone read for us the rest of this, 41 through 43. 1 Kings 11, 41 through 43.
And the rest of the acts of Solomon, and all that he did, and his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the acts of Solomon? And the time that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel was 40 years. And Solomon slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David his father. And Rehoboam his son reigned in his stead.
So there it is. He died peacefully.
So boring.
It is boring. It is boring, but it's also like sort of a gift from God. He's like, okay, so your dad David was really good, so just like go to sleep. Like just drift off peacefully. So we're introduced to this other character, Rehoboam, who is the rightful heir to the throne. He's supposed to just take over. Everything's supposed to be fine and dandy, right? Well, we get to 1 Kings 12 and things are a little bit different. Let's continue reading 1 Kings 12 and someone get for us 1 through 4. 1 Kings 12, 1 through 4.
Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had come to Shechem to make him king. And as soon as Jeroboam the son of Nebat heard it, for he was still in Egypt when he had fled from King Solomon, then Jeroboam returned from Egypt. And they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the assembly of Israel came and said to Rehoboam, your father made our yoke heavy. Now therefore lighten the hard service of your father and his heavy yoke on us, and we will serve you.
So you've got this, if you notice, you have these two names, Rehoboam and Jeroboam. The Bible loves two things, foreshadowing and wordplay. That's like, it's big throughout the Bible. Here, it's pretty obvious. Jeroboam is the bad guy. Jeroboam means the people will contend or rebel. Rehoboam means the people will grow, or the influence will grow, if that makes sense. So Here, you've got these two conflicting characters. One of them has been in hiding because Rehoboam's daddy was trying to kill him. And he's trying to get most of this kingdom taken away from Rehoboam, Solomon's rightful son. And you've got Rehoboam, who's like, let's continue growing this thing. Solomon did a lot of work. Let's continue on. Questions or comments? I see you.
Northern, right?
Do what?
Rehoboam's north,
Rehoboam south.
south.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah, these names are confusing. So Solomon has a son. Is this squeaking killing anybody? That's not right. Rehoboam.
There's an M at the
Hey,
end.
you can look up there.
Rehoboam.
Rehoboam.
It's the last class, all right? I was close. Rehoboam. So this is the rightful heir to the throne, right? This means people will grow, or kingdom will grow, which is what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to. He's just supposed to succeed. Everything's was fine. But you have this other guy, unrelated to Solomon, except for he works for him. This is Jeroboam. That's an M, right? Not Jeroboam. All right. Jeroboam means the people will contend or rebel. So I'll just put that. So Jeroboam works for Solomon under his reign. Like he's one of, you know how David had mighty men, Saul had mighty dudes. He's one of those guys. So Jeroboam is really just minding his business at first, but he sees some weakness. He starts to get some plots. And so then Ahijah, who's the prophet at the time, comes to Jeroboam and rips off his new tunic, which grew, by the way, right? It's a brand new.
It's his own tunic.
Oh, sorry. So he takes off his own. Ahijah takes off his own tunic and tears it into 10 pieces. 12. Oh, 12. That's right. We're gonna tell the story. Are you not
It's
gonna
the 12 for the 12
She said
tribes.
12 tribes?
Yeah.
How many does Jeroboam get? Morgan? 10. And so how many are left?
2.
2. Which belong to whom?
Ooh, Jeroboam.
Rehoboam.
Close.
Rehoboam.
Right.
That's
So-
King on that.
Yes, this is a foreshadowing. Remember, at first, with Solomon is a united kingdom. Now we're going to have a divided kingdom. How many kings did it take from united to divided? 3. And you could argue they were really only united under Solomon. You could argue that because both Saul and David were still trying to piece things together.
And these represent the 12 tribes, correct?
Correct.
Well,
They're not represented, they are.
okay.
And then Solomon had to be kind of really a nice guy for 10 of them to leave.
Yes.
I mean,
And we'll get there. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions on this? Make sense? Sure. So now, Jeroboam has come back from hiding because just like David, the current king is trying to kill him. So he flees to Egypt, comes back. And so this is a moment for Rehoboam, the rightful heir, to make everything right. We've had some conflict. Now it's a moment for us to get together. We'll move forward as one nation and we can compromise a little bit. Like we can see eye to eye, move forward as God wants us to do, right? This is what's happening here in chapter 12. Questions? So verse 4, this is the people of Israel talking to Rehoboam, the rightful heir. Your father made our yoke heavy. Now therefore lighten the hard service of your father and his heavy yoke on us, and we will serve you. What kind of heavy burden had Solomon put them under? Taxes. A ton of taxes. For what? Temple. We have a great temple now. Did that come out of thin air? Nope. Just as Samuel said in 1 Samuel 8. Remember, guys, when y'all want a king, you're going to have taxes. You're going to have forced labor. The king's going to take your sons and daughters for his own servants. They're going to be shipped off. There's a price to pay for having a king. Now the people are finally like, hey, this has been a lot. So can we chill? What is a common promise when politicians get into office?
They will, I don't know, they'll make it.
We're going to lower taxes. Very famously, George Bush the first, Papa Bush, said, read my lips, no new taxes. For those of you not born in the 90s, go look it up on YouTube, okay? No new taxes. What are the new taxes? Of course, because you need taxes. Wow, we have a war. It's always something, right? These people are like, please, for the love of God, just can we chill on this stuff? This is Rehoboam's chance. They're already set it. You got the tabernacle or the temple. You got all of your, like, everything's set. So verse 5, someone get for us 1 Kings 12, 5 through 11. 1 Kings 12, 5 through 11.
He said to them, go away for 3 days and come again to me. So the people went away. The king, Rehoboam, took counsel with the old men who had stood before Solomon his father while he was yet alive, saying, how do you advise me to answer this people? And they said to him, if you will be a servant to this people today and serve them and speak good words to them, you will answer them. Then they will be your servants forever. But he abandoned the counsel that the old men gave him and took counsel with the young men who had grown up with him and stood before him. And he said to them, what do you advise that we answer this people who have said to me, lighten the yoke that your father put on us? And the young man who had grown up with him said to him, thus shall you speak to this people who said to you, your father made our yoke heavy, but you lightened it for us. Thus shall you say to them, my little finger is thicker than my father's thighs. And now, where's my father's laid on you a heavy yoke, and I will add to your yoke. My father disciplined you with whips, but I will discipline you with scorpions. So
Rehoboam's got two different sets of advisors. You got the old heads who've seen all this stuff. They've gone from like things are not good, like jungle, to now we're in peacetime. So they've seen how much taxation, how much work has gone into it. So they know where they've been. So their advice is like, hey, we're good now. We can back off. So you don't have to be this big bad guy. You got nothing to prove. Like, you can be a peacetime king. Just tell them we'll work on that. Like, we're good. And Rehoboam's like, no, bruh. I guess he's a young dude. I don't know. So he goes to his boys and he's like, hey, what do y'all tell me? And they're like, more. Now, think about why they would advise him to do this. You got Egypt to the south. Are they a pretty big nation?
Yeah.
You got Assyria growing in the north. Are they a pretty big nation? You got some Babylonian stuff going on to the west, or to the east rather. They're a pretty big nation. So they're thinking, we got to still compete. We're not satisfied with what we have here. We got to keep on going. So Rehoboam has a choice to make, right? He's, what are we going to do here? So verse 12, so Jeroboam, interesting, he's like the impromptu leader. You kind of notice he's sort of rallying people together. There's a tone here we're going to get to. Verse 12, Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam on the third day, like he asked, come to me again the third day. And the king answered the people harshly and forsaking the counsel that the old men had given him. He spoke to them according to the counsel of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, but I will add to your yoke. My father disciplined you with whips, but I will discipline you with scorpions. And the people were like, sweet. That sounds good. What's the result in verse 15?
So the king did not listen to the people, for it was a turn of affairs brought about by the Lord, that he might fulfill his word, which the Lord spoke by, don't know that name.
Yeah, good luck.
Oh yeah, nah, you can read that little part.
Ahijah the Shilonite, which means he's from Shiloh, to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. So this should remind us also of Pharaoh, shouldn't it? Moses goes to Pharaoh, let my people go. God hardens his heart, but also Pharaoh is also stubborn. You have two things acting at once, where it's like, we're going to increase this because that's what the Lord said is going to happen. Had the same thing here. God knew Rehoboam was not going to do it. That's why he sent Ahijah the prophet to Jeroboam. So this leads to a lot of terrible stuff because of Rehoboam's stupidity here. So the result you see in verses 16 through 33, we'll read some of this briefly. You have a divided nation. So in verse 16, when all Israel saw,
You made a comment.
okay, all
I
right.
think is
Yep.
important.
Okay.
Before you move on.
Sure.
If you don't mind. Like, this is very valuable for sort of understanding how God works. Because, like, you go back to Pharaoh, or you go even back in this to, he's taking the kingdom from Saul and he's giving it to David, or this right here. If the text had not told you that God was doing it, you would not know that God was doing it. Because God says, I'm going to do this, and then he doesn't just kind of arbitrarily snatch up. And he says that, and then he's working behind the scenes so that you can legitimately say God is orchestrating it. But you can also say that those people did it as well, right? So it's not like he's taking any responsibility from anybody in his actions, but he's working with the choices that the people make for their own demise or their own downfall. Saul was responsible, even though God says. And so you see how God works if you're paying attention.
Correct. That's a good point. If you get into either one of these extremes, one extreme being God has nothing to do with it, the other extreme, God is the only part to do with it, aka you have no free will. That's kind of where you start to get offline. You start to kind of get, one way or another. When the Bible says both, he absolutely had the choice to do it. God knew he wasn't going to do it. That's how it's going to be. Yeah, good comment. Anybody else?
I just thought, go ahead.
Oh no, I just Googled because I was interested to see what age Rehoboam was when he was to take reign, and he was 41.
Correct.
So like he wasn't that young.
No.
And we are listening to other 40-year-olds, which is interesting. So I would assume that the people that he's supposed to be listening to would be in their 70s
Probably.
and have been listening the whole time.
It's supposed to show you that he's more of a ding dong than you thought.
Well, I mean, like.
For this time. For this time. We're not making you come to anyone's age. But you're right. The idea when you read it first glance is that he must be a teen.
Yeah.
Because he's like influenced by his guys, and usually older guys are experienced, and you see the young boys running around. They're like, "Yeah, get off my lawn." But he's not like, "Get off my lawn." He's like, "What do you think, fellow children?"
But it's also interesting because there's so many other examples too of you don't poll the crowd.
Correct.
Right? Because if you poll the crowd and follow the crowd, you're more likely to do the wrong thing.
Yes.
And especially for a leader. A leader is not a leader if he just does what everybody tells him to do. He's the follower of the crowd.
Yeah.
And yet, in this instance, he was wrong for not paying attention and listening. So there's a bit of nuance.
And while we're on that, he asks his old guys who've been there, done that. He's asked his new guys. Who does he not ask?
Go.
The Lord? There's not a mention of a prayer. There's not like, hey, God, you're in charge of all this. What do you think? No, he's like, let's get a consensus and go with that of like the people. So you're supposed to think he's a ding dong, and he is a ding dong, respectfully. He's dead now, so he doesn't care. But he's a ding dong. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just thought it interesting. Generally, when Solomon is spoken of, it's that during his time there was prosperity, everything was, but without this, you don't get that little bit that he was heavily taxing the people, where the money was coming from. And in a general sense, he's kind of responsible for the whole situation. So.
You know how many concubines he had to feed him?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, even the people themselves, without seeing all the behind the scenes about the sausages made, they're thinking this has gone a little too far. Like, we need to back off. And Rehoboam's like, no, we're not doing that. So several consequences of this, the nation gets divided. Probably one of the saddest, I think the saddest verse in this whole situation is verse 16 of 1 Kings 12. And when all Israel saw the king did not listen to them, the people answered the king, what portion do we have in David? We have no inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, Israel. Look now to your own house. Israel went to their tents. This is the same David who brought them all together, and the same one who wrote all the Psalms that they sing, and the same one God told them, your house is going to be forever, right? They're looking at the situation like it's not worth it.
It's profound hopelessness because their hope lies in the seed of David.
They're like, if given the choice of going back to the judges and this, I just rather pick the judges. That's the idea. So, of course,
But they're also
Jeroboam.
making that decision off of the physical.
Yes, yes. And of course, guess who's there to pick up the pieces?
The 10 pieces.
The 10 pieces. There's this guy, Jeroboam, who the prophet's already promised, you're going to get most of the kingdom. And he's like, oh, how convenient. Come with me, guys. We'll find our own system. We'll make our own kingdom. Therefore, and Chronicles kind of says this, from this point on, the lower half was called Judah, and the upper half, the 10 tribes, were called what? Anybody know?
Israel.
Israel. Also, what's his other name?
Jacob.
You got it, Jacob. So in the prophets, whenever you see Israel or Jacob or Ephraim, we're talking about the northern kingdom. When we're hearing Judah or these kind of guys, we're talking about southern kingdom.
Judah.
Oh, that is
What happened?
The blonde moment.
Which tribe is Judah?
Judah. Interesting. So that is a good point, though. So it says that he's given 2 tribes, but we know it's Judah. But which one is the other one? Anybody know? Benjamin? Isn't it Benjamin?
That's what people say.
Where is so? Question: where is Levi?
They did not get a land inheritance.
They did not. They did not get a land
Because
inheritance. So
they were the priestly tribe that was supposed to live off of the rest of the
right.
tribe.
So where do they work and live? That's kind of unspoken, right? So there's a lot going on here, but they stay in the south where the temple is. That's another problem here. So everyone here are good Jewish people, and they realize if we go up there and we don't have any connection with Jesse, we don't have any connection with David, what are we missing? Temple. So what do we do now? So I can't go down there because I hate this guy. So what does Jeroboam conveniently do?
Taxes. He sets up.
Well, we need an alternative place of
Some
worship.
taxes. We need, if you will, a northern campus. A satellite campus, if you will. So I'll put some conveniently up here for you. That way you guys don't have to go down to the people that you hate. Look at 25, 1 Kings 12. Someone get for us 25 through 33. 1 Kings 12, 25 through 33.
Then Jeroboam built Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim and lived there. And he went out from there and built Peniel, and Jeroboam said in his heart, now the kingdom will turn back to the house of David. If this people go up to offer sacrifices in the temple of the Lord at Jerusalem, then the heart of this people will turn against their Lord to Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they will kill me and return to Rehoboam, king of Judah. What did you say?
Through 33.
So the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold. And he said to the people, you've gone up to Jerusalem long enough. Behold your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. And he set one in Bethel and the other put in Dan. Then this day became a sin for the people went as far as Dan to be before one. He also made temples on high places and appointed priests from among all the people who were not of the Levites. And Jeroboam appointed a feast on the 15th day of the 18th month, or 8th month, like the feast that was in Judah, and he offered sacrifices on the altar. So he did in Bethel, sacrificing to the calves that he made, and he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places that he had made. He went up to the altar that he had made in Bethel on the 15th day in the 8th month, in the month that he had devised from his own heart. And he instituted a feast for the people of Israel, and went up to the altar to make offerings.
This is pretty diabolical what he does. So he realizes that people aren't just going to immediately switch to idolatry. So if you look in like verse 32 and around that, he makes his false idol stuff similar to what they're already experiencing. Oh, we got the same feast days, we got whatever. But the difference is we're going to have our idol. Where have we seen this idol before? Is there a similarity anywhere?
Yeah.
We have-
You didn't read it to me.
We have literally decompensated right back to where we were at the beginning, at the base of the mountain when we received the law. The first
He literally reads verbatim what Aaron says to the people when Moses goes up on Sinai. It's been too long. People, where did Moses go? And so he makes a golden calf and says, behold, Israel, the God who led you out of Egypt.
He goes back to that negative and he pulls it into the present as though it's a positive.
He's playing the greatest hits.
The only difference
Guess
is there's
like-
two now instead of one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's playing the greatest hits, guys. This worked the first time and we were happy. And now, not only one, we got two convenient spots for you to worship. Woo! Okay, so all of this is a direct result of Rehoboam not asking God for help and not listening to wise advice.
What's the time gap between there and here?
Well, for Exodus and here?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Anybody know?
Long time.
Someone with Google? My bet is 400.
That's what I was gonna say. Well,
My bet, if I had to bet,
But actually, this is a direct result of Solomon
correct.
letting all of that idolatry in the first place.
Correct. So we shouldn't be scandalized this is coming back up because Solomon was like, Ashtoreth, absolutely. The Baals, come on in. Like all of these guys, right? He's playing also the greatest hits.
There's approximately 500 to 530 years between Moses and the reign of Rehoboam.
500, not 400. Interesting. I'm sure we can squeeze 400 into it somewhere.
I like the little expedience thing he threw in there too.
Which one?
The thing that had the two of them.
Yeah.
You know, you put one in the lower part of the kingdom, one in the upper part. That way you don't have to travel so far.
We got
Looking
it.
out for you.
Well, we got most of the land.
Yeah.
So it's convenient for you. Another than southern campus.
So like would
Right.
this, in Exodus, would this have been like their great grandparents? Like what was how old were people living at this time?
That's a good question.
Because for a while they were living to about 30 years. I mean,
Not now.
not now.
Yeah. So
Solomon was 80, so.
yeah. So
Oh, okay.
going back to the 40-year-old Rehoboam stuff,
Yeah.
like he would have been an experienced guy. Yeah. So it's not like Adam or Methuselah.
They
Yeah.
know the history. Like they're aware that,
Well, so they just built the temple.
yeah.
So like every year they come together and tell the story about how they got out of Egypt. So every year they would hear the words that Aaron spoke.
Okay.
And remember the
Behold,
instruction,
Israel.
the instruction that he got too.
Yeah.
Like when God said you're going to take the 10 tribes, the big thing. If you walk in my commandments,
Those are the same thing.
I'm going to put your people on the throne, forever.
All you got to do is just follow me. And Rehoboam's like, or Jeroboam's like,
But what isn't really brought up and thought about is the fact that these people were very much a part of the temple being built
correct.
and of all of the funds going to it.
Yep.
This is the first time they had this. And then all of a sudden, right after that, the kingdom is split and they don't have access to that temple anymore.
Yep.
But it just sort of breezes over.
Yep.
Because
So here's a couple of things. This also makes both, so now they're separate nations. This makes both nations easier targets for everybody. So at one point, Egypt was like level playing field. They're like, yeah, we respect you guys as a nation. So 1 Kings 14, just a couple of pages later, we see that the king of Egypt comes up and takes all the things that Solomon built. Remember that whole chapter we read about, he made these nice fancy shields and he had like a bunch of chariots, right? Egypt just comes in there like, this is ours now. Whoop! And just takes them. And Rehoboam's like, well, shoot. Like, what are you going to do about that, right? Later on, Israel, northern kingdom, gets taken by Assyria. They get brought back. Jerusalem or Judah gets taken by Babylon, Persia. They come back. So when they come back, they're completely different people. One thing I want to point out about the study before we dismiss is the correlation between what's happening here and 1 Samuel 8. So 1 Samuel 8, God tells them, hey, there's going to be all kinds of consequences for this. You're not going to like where this leads. People say, we want it anyway, right? Effectively, what they're saying is God's not good enough to be our king. We need a king. We can be like everybody else, right? Fast forward to John chapter 19. I know we're making a huge jump here. John chapter 19, you have the king of Israel, which is what they call Jesus when he's crucified. He's king of the Jews. And they're like, oh, call him the king. Okay, you have the king of Israel on trial to be crucified. And so Pilate's like, I can't really find anything to throw at him, right? Then the people say, if you don't take care of this guy, you're no friend of Caesar's. By the way, who did Pilate work for? I'm going to speak to your manager. Okay, is what they say. Pilate's like, guys, we don't have to do this. People insist we have no king but who? Oh. So they hate this worldly rule that they've been given all the way back to 1 Samuel 8. We want our own king. They have the king here and they kill him. Once again, I am subjecting myself under a yoke of a king who does not deserve to rule me. Is there a message for us spiritually today? Do I crucify Jesus to establish my own kingdom and my own rule in my heart? Or do I put him as the king as was intended? Thoughts or questions?
How does he die?
Peacefully. I know. No, it's just like, and then he went to sleep. Probably because of David.
Saul is like the only one who died like
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
The fun way, I guess.
Yep.
Well, not for him.
Well, not the fun way.
For the reason.
All right. Thanks for your time with this study. Let's pray real quick, and then we'll go out there. Father, we love you. We're thankful for the time you've given us. We're thankful for the ability to study. Father, we pray that we would learn our lesson from people in the past. We pray that we would be humble. We would put you as king over our hearts and especially of your church. Praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.